What happens after deportation? Today, we are sharing real life experiences of immigrants who were deported from the United States and the regrets, the lessons, and the unexpected realities they faced afterwards. This is not about politics, this is about people and the difficult choices that changed their lives forever. Stay with me because some of these stories may surprise you. Let's watch these clips and then I'll come back with more comments.
One stupid mistake cost me everything. I'm a tattoo artist here in Tijuana. Been here for 10 years. I got deported in 2015 and I served a 20-year sentence out of a 29 to life. At the time, I didn't realize what a waste of time of life, I just didn't care, but that was just how I lived in a gang culture. But now that I'm free and I've been living this life and I can look back, man, I can't even believe somebody would do that kind of lifestyle. It's a total waste, man. Total waste of life being a gang member or a criminal. Living a decent life and working for a living and having a good life and enjoying life, that's the beautiful thing about life. People can change. People can change the way they live. People can change their lifestyle, man. I'm a living proof, and you know what? Today I look at all that stuff and I can't stand it. And enjoy your life, man.
When I was deported from the United States and I boarded that plane, my feelings were very sad. I've looked outside the airplane and I've seen Chicago. As I was going, I thought that I will never be back, even though in my mind I'm going to fight to go back as much as possible. But it was a very sad moment that I had to leave after 38 years, almost 39 years. It was very sad for me to leave and just to know I have left my family behind me, my wife, my daughters, my businesses, my friends, my Youngstown, and it was just a horrible feeling.
Of course, they searched me back again.
I was treated as a criminal when I was detained with ICE. Checking me, and every time that they took me somewhere and brought me back, the handcuffs, the bracelets on my foot down, it was unbelievable the way they treated me and the way they kept this whole thing going when I was locked up. This had done is un-American, and Americans. And the idea that I've lived for almost 39 years in the United States does not give me that idea of what ICE had done. American people are completely, absolutely different from that. And I love the United States, I love the American people, I love my community. And what proves that is when this happened to me, all of the community and everybody in the United States stood up and fought for me, which makes me love those people more than ever. They're my people. I lived in the United States more than any other part of this world. That's my country, and it's my states, and it's my Youngstown, and that's the way I see it. That's the way I feel about it. But this administration does not represent the American public and the American people. I'm trying to fix up my life and trying to get things together. But in my mind and in my heart, I know I'm going to go back. I know that the fight will keep going, and I will keep going, and hoping that things would be settled day after day. What am I going to do? I'm going to keep the fight by talking to my lawyers, the politicians in the United States, to keep this whole thing going.
Sabadi. My name is Cam. I've been deported May 26, 2025, the group of 65. So let me tell you about my life story. I came to the U.S. back in 1990 when I was 8 years old. So I graduated high school in Alaska, Fairbanks, Alaska. And I moved to Texas, and I cast me an aggravated assault case back in 2004. With that, I was probably 20 years old at that time, and I wasn't a U.S. citizen yet, so my green card got revoked. By 2008, I got released from prison. ICE picked me up. My green card got revoked, and I was already deported to Laos. At that time, Laos won't accept anybody back. So I was in ICE for 6 months. Then they released me of order of supervision. So I got to check in with ICE every year. But for 20 years, I've been checking in since 2008 till 2025. I started a family. I have 4 kids. I have a wife. I have a house. I have a job. I stayed with the company, Benny Key, for 15 years with the company. When ICE detained me, when I go check in 2025 in February, when ICE detained me, my job hired me a lawyer.
For many immigrants, moving to the US represents opportunity, better jobs, education, we have safety, and stability for their families. But immigration in the US is complex, so missing paperwork, visa overstays, we have even minor legal issues, or even policy changes can suddenly shift someone's life. So, some of the most common reasons deportation occur include visa overstays, criminal convictions, immigration violations, and asylum denial. So, for example, during the administration of Donald Trump, immigration enforcement policies became stricter in several areas. Under Joe Biden, priorities shifted again, but deportations still continue under the US law. So, the reality? Enforcement changes over time, but consequences remain life altering.
I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation, or like blindfolds were ripped off my eyes. I started seeing things differently. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. I regret my vote so deeply, and if I could go back and change it, I would. My vote wasn't just a mistake, it was the ultimate betrayal of the very people that I come from. I supported the very system that allows this kind of cruelty to happen. That is a choice that I have to live with. I've started educating myself on immigration, on the US history, on systematic racism, and how people in power manipulate and try to divide us. I'm reading, listening, learning, and unlearning everything that I thought I knew.
So many deported individuals describe the first weeks back in their home country as the hardest. Common experiences include culture shock, difficulty finding work, separation from children or even their spouses, feeling like a stranger in their own homeland. Some of them left as kids, others have never lived there in the first place. So some left their homes as children and barely remember life there. Some of them say, I felt American in my mind, but I wasn't allowed to stay. Others say they regret not renewing visas in time, taking legal advice too lightly, and ignoring small immigration issues that became big problems. Their emotional toll can include depression, anxiety, and identity loss, but not every story is despair.
So after my wife got deported, I was an emotional mess because it was like I had my best friend with me. We had so much things that we had plans, you know, even just like for the weekend. We're so excited to just go out and have fun and hang out with friends and be us and grow our relationship and our connection. And after she got deported, all of that stopped. Once she got deported, you know, it wasn't just a simple like relationship how we had it. It turned more into a battle of trying to figure out how to get her back, and it was honestly exhausting because pretty much every avenue you go down with deportation, there's some kind of barrier, there's some kind of block. It's like there's a 10-year ban, and then to get the ban done, you have to pay like a lot of money just to even get it down, and you have to submit forms, and then after that form gets done, you have to submit another form and then another form, and then by the time you know it, it's like I realized then when I was in the army, I was like, man, I'm not going to be able to have my wife back here with me in the States for probably like 5, 7, 8 years. And once I realized that, like, it made the rest of the time in the military for me so much longer and so much harder, because I was like she's not coming back. It's so hard, like, to even afford that money, to get the money to do that, and also, you know, miss this person like tremendously. It was very difficult. It was very difficult to cope with that information. And then eventually, like, the more I looked into deportation and how to get my wife back, you know, like spouse, how to get her back to the States with me, after talking with my lawyer, and after filing all the paperwork, and like once you submit everything, it literally takes over a year for like any results. And once you get that back, you have to do more paperwork. And now, so we're on our second submission, second form, and this form, like, I guess takes 2 years to finish. Like 2 years, you know. So I'm gonna be away from my country, my home, like my family, for like 5 years, because we have to wait for USCIS to approve our case. And on top of that, like, yeah, we're spending over $12,000, actually probably more, because there's other filing fees that you have to pay for. So I mean, it's ridiculous how much money and time goes into this because of deportation. And then on top of that, you want your family to be good and strong and happy, and then you're going through all this like bullshit that honestly like takes so much time away from your relationship. It's just, it's too much on families. Like, this whole fighting for your case and doing all this is too much. It's too much for us. It's too much for our families going through this. We just want to be in our country, have our family with us, and be good. And like, I'm with an amazing person. Like, she lived in the States for 10 years, yo. She graduated high school, she got jobs and everything, and then we have to sit and wait for somebody that doesn't even know us to say, like, we can go into the country I was raised in. Like, I served in the military. I put my life on the line for my country, and then they kick my wife out and then say I have to pay like $15,000 to have her back in. It's like, I'm pretty sure my soul knows who I want to be with for the rest of my life. I don't think I need to prove it through friggin' paperwork and years of waiting for and waiting for a result. It's ridiculous. The system and everything needs to change, yo. We're making the most of it.
A full theme that often emerges is personal accountability. Some deported immigrants openly admit they underestimated immigration laws, some even saying they made poor legal choices. They didn't take warnings seriously. Others argue that navigating the system was confusing and even expensive. Immigration law in the US is governed by the Department of Homeland Security and agencies like US Immigration and Custom Enforcement. So the system can be legally complex, especially for individuals without access to strong legal representation. The key takeaway repeated by many deportees: I wish I had understood the consequences earlier. Some say that. So here is something many people don't expect. Some deported individuals eventually rebuild stable and successful lives. Examples include starting businesses in their home countries, reuniting with their families, using skills learned in the US to create opportunities locally. In countries like Mexico, deportation numbers have fluctuated over years, and reintegration programs have emerged to help returnees even find work. Some even describe deportation as a painful turning point that forced growth. So in this case, immigration remains one of the most debated issues in the US. Organizations like United Nations highlight global migration as a complex international issue tied to economics, safety, and opportunity. But regardless of policy, the human impact is undeniable. So families usually are affected, children are affected, communities are also affected, and for the individuals involved, regret often centers around one thought: if I could go back and do it differently, I would. So, deportation is not just a legal action, it is a turning point in someone's life story. Some experience regret, some experience growth, most experience both. So, if there is one lesson repeated across these stories, is this: understanding immigration laws early and taking them seriously can change everything. What are your thoughts on this issue? Have you or someone you know experienced immigration challenges? Share respectively in the comments section. Let's keep this conversation thoughtful and constructive. If you found this video informative, consider subscribing for more deep dive discussions on real world issues that impact real people. My name is Faith Reacts. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.